It's the Road Trip's first ever road trip. Join us as we packed our bags for a whole day of adventure, filled with food, folks, and fun. An eventful joyride of beautiful views, surprising stops, and fantastic food. A raw documentation of the trip that cemented our appreciation for what Davao has to offer. The hours flew by, calories multiplied, and memories were made. From the busy streets to the wide open highway with hidden gems along the way, the Road Trip's first ever road trip is certainly not the last. This is the beginning of more adventures to come, and we are inviting you to join us in this first episode of a two-part series. Road Trip with the Road Trip, our kind of trip. All right. Good morning, guys. Rod Rodriguez here of the Road Trip, and it's way too early to be doing this. All right. I'm not really the best morning person in the world. My camera guy, Ian, is not really the best morning person in the world. But today we're going to make an exception. The Road Trip goes officially on its first road trip. All right. And along the way, we might spot some eating spots where we might make some stops and enjoy a few meals here and there, or maybe that cup of coffee that we also need at this time until we eventually get to our destination. All right, so hopefully you'll join us for a road trip, first ever, right here on the Road Trip. Let's go. All right, so we're off to pick up my brother-in-law, and then it's going to be an adventure of three. That's either the Three Musketeers or Tatlong Itlog. All right, take your pick. Tito Vic and Joey. I'm probably going to be Joey, right? So yeah, we're off to Buda, and you know, I'm not really a big road trip guy. Most people that know me know that I'm not as adventurous as you all think. I mean, I don't mind taking a plane trip to another country, but you know, just within my town, within my city, anything further than Obrero is already a long distance for me. That's just how I am, all right? Because I'm geographically challenged, and at the same time, you know, I'm always thinking about what if I have an upset stomach along the way? What if, you know, I need some sort of comfort? I always go for my comfort zone. I don't want to go out of my comfort zone. So this is sort of like a thing for me. I don't always, whenever I hang out with my friends, we're always just at a bar, drinking, hanging out. I don't really suggest, you know, going out of town and checking out the waterfall somewhere and getting malaria along the way. But yeah, so picking up my brother-in-law, and then we're gonna make our first stop to gas up and put some air on the tires, and off to Buda we go, right here on the Road Trip. All right, guys, we're here at Rider's Choice Food House. Even though I'm not really a rider, I'm more of a driver. And I don't know where we're at. Is it still Davao? It's still Davao, okay. So we might have something to eat, or we're gonna check out if they have coffee or something. This is technically our first stop before we head to Buda officially. I don't know how far we are from Buda. I'm geographically challenged, but it is the road trip of the Road Trip. So just join us. We'll check out some nice views, and we'll see what we can order. All right, for our first meal, breakfast. Hey guys, we're here at the Marilog district. It's a district, right? So we are at Rider's Choice. The Rod Rodriguez here of the Road Trip. This is our first official stop. We've been driving for, I don't know what, an hour? Less than, maybe, more or less. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see the view. It's a beautiful view, and it's actually like at the like at a cliff edge. And we ordered some food. Typical Carinderia fare, though I'm not sure if, you know, their food tastes different in this part of the country, but this is only about an hour from, you know, Davao City proper, so it's not really that far. It still feels like Davao to me. I mean, you know, that's the thing. I don't do a lot of road trips. I don't do a lot of driving locally, all right? So this is like an adventure for myself and, of course, my companions. I am with my brother-in-law. I am with, of course, Ian, the cam guy. And yeah, we'll review the food. We'll see what they have to offer. And then we'll make another stop before we eventually hit Buda. And that's when the fun really starts, all right? So yeah, enjoy the view. And we'll have our first meal of the day in a bit, right here on the official road trip of the Road Trip. Hey guys, guess what's on the table? As usual, chibuk again, all right? Welcome to the Road Trip. You know, the Road Trip is synonymous with food trip, so I don't think I've ever had an episode where I actually didn't eat anything, all right? So it's no different here. We are at Rider's Choice, so, you know, if you're one of those big bike guys or a part of a motorcycle group or maybe even, you know, a mountain bike group or something, you're a rider, basically. This would be a perfect spot for you. This is probably the stop for those rider groups, but I'm a driver, all right? Kasi pag driver, sweet lover, right? Malakas din kumain. So we're here, and this is our first stop. This is my first time here. I'm not sure about my companions, my brother-in-law, of course, and my cam guy, Ian, behind the camera. We're on a road trip adventure together here on the Road Trip. We're headed to Buda, which I've only been to once. And the cool thing is, I don't really have to navigate. I just have to follow the highway, and eventually we'll get there. And the best part about Mindanao is that, you know, there's so many hidden gems in terms of sights and sounds and locales and even food, all right? So making our first stop here, we have the walang kamatayang, walang kasawang Balbacua, right? Which, Balbacua, Hinalang, Bulalo, those are all kind of related to each other, right? But this is probably the black sheep of the family, all right? So yeah, but you see, that's collagen right there. I'm a big fan of what's the Bisaya term for this? I forgot. I know I featured this already, but I think it's litid in Tagalog, right? It's yeah, I know you're ugat ugat. Ugat ugat. That's what this is supposed to be referred to. And I am a big fan, so I am going to help myself and try this. And then we'll try the pusit real quick, all right? Because my companions here, of course, need to eat as well, but I am a big fan of ugat. Oh my God. You know what? I know I always say this. I mean, you know, Mark Queens does this when, wow. For me, it's just like, and then all the effects show up. I'm telling you, I'm not a regular consumer of Balbacua, but this is worth the trip. I kid you not. I know my cam guy will agree with me once he gets a taste of it here at Rider's Choice. My goodness. So good. I don't know if it's how they prepare things here or the spices that's available. Now I have the adobong pusit. Perfectly cooked as well. You know what? The Balbacua, I highly recommend. Adobong pusit, I highly recommend. The thing is, we just stopped here because of the site. I didn't even imagine that the food was going to be this good. But I'm telling you, this is probably the best Balbacua I've had so far. And you know, whenever you're out on a drinking session, you always want to stop by a Balbacua place before you head home. This is kind of far from where I live, so we're probably not going to be here often. So I'm going to make the most of it, all right? So I'm going to enjoy the food that's available, and then we're going to have another stop after this. And yeah, it's a road trip adventure. But here on the Road Trip, it's always good when your road trip is complemented by a food trip, all right? So we'll be back. Let me eat first. All right, Rider's Choice has been officially road tripped. Okay, napagtripa na. I would have to say, best Balbacua I've had ever. Unless we make another stop and then the Balbacua there's better, right? Because it has, I think, the distinct difference maker is the star anise, which according to my Balbacua expert Ian, it's the first time these had Balbacua with star anise. Their native chicken, the fried native chicken, I don't really eat native chicken unless it's tinola or something, right? It's also highly recommended. Also another highlight is the adobong pusin. Basically all the dishes we ordered, all right? So those were the 3 dishes we ordered. This was our first meal. And this was, shot in the dark basically, because this is the first time for us. It's just a great view. It seems like a great vibe. And, usually when you have those two, something's got to give. But you know what? The food's also great. So that's trifecta right there, right? So since they're officially road trip, ma'am, okay lang ma'am, ha? All right. So we get a 50% discount. Highly recommended. So if you guys drop by, I don't even know if I can remove this sticker. All right, where were we? So I said, Rider's Choice, like I said, has officially been road trip. So you gotta make it official. When you see this, that means we've been there, done that, and most likely we'll be back, all right? Because of the good food and the amazing service and the grand view as well. So here we go. Road trip, we'll find its spot right here. There you go. Ayan. So Rider's Choice has now officially been road trip. Check it out. Bye. So Barilog District, first stop. I don't know what district we'll be hitting next, but so far it's been fun, all right? And that's only less than an hour into our road trip here on the road trip. So guys, check it out. We are at the Rider's Choice. Great food, great service, awesome view. Great way to start our first stop on our road to Buda, right here on the road trip. Let's go. I do not know how to remove this. This is going to be our outtakes. I'll get the other sticker dala. Nagan pa ko. Sige. Ba. Thank you. Follow boss sa Facebook. Ikaw boss. Thank you. Sige, start natin. Ito na. Okay, this one. Parang mga nangatag ugkuhan ka ng ampaw gani. Mga inaanak. Sige, retake.